Hello everyone, I am GUAN as today moderator. I am grateful for the opportunity to be here with you today. So today we would like to talk to you about the mental health, what is normal and what is not. Here I would like to briefly explain what is mental health. Mental health is include our emotional, psychological and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choice. Mental health is important at every stage of life, from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. Over the course of your life, if you experience mental health problems, your thinking, mood, and behavior could be affected. Mental health problems are common, but help is available. People with mental health problems can get better and many recover completely. So, without waste our time, let's get started. Before we get into this topic, I would like to introduce the guests who are here today. The first one is SITI SAKINAH from Agency Miasa. And what is Agency Miasa? Later, SAKINAH will explain to us. Next up is Syafiq, a former patient with mental health problems. And the last one is NUR'AIN, as a counselor. Alright, in our country, there's one that deals with mental health issue is Miasa. So now, let's welcome SAKINAH. SAKINAH, what is the purpose of Abbreviations Agency Miasa?
Thank you, moderator. Firstly, I will present about MIASA first. MIASA stands for Mental Illness Awareness and Support Achievement. The vision of MIASA is to be the leading voice in mental health education in support of people with mental health disorder. The first mission is to promote awareness on the importance of the good mental health. Second is to raise awareness on mental health disorder. Third is to provide support for mental health peer and caregiver. The fourth is to promote mental health literacy. Lastly is to support other body in all areas to promote mental health. The purpose established of the MIASA agency is to promote awareness on the importance of mental health, to address and clarify misconceptions on mental health issues and conditions, while simulation provides support for peer and caregiver through its various programs and support initiatives. Lastly, it offers a holistic solution not only from the medical perspective but also spiritually, being a key component highlighting the critical importance of the recovery model, focusing on empowerment, autonomy, and right-based approach. That's all from me. Thank you.
Wow, thank you SAKINAH for explaining the Agency Miasa to us. I believe that now we have a better understanding of this agency. If you have any mental health problem, you can ask help from them. Alright, now I would like to ask Syafiq. Syafiq, you as a former patient with mental health problems, what is your best way of effective measure to treat or control someone who has the mental problem?
Okay, thanks to the event moderator for the following question. Before I tell you more, I would like to thank the invitation panel for inviting me to this meeting. So, when mental illness is mentioned, usually people will continue to be scared. A very big stigma when it comes to mental illness, mental disorder, as if everyone involved is crazy, psycho, murderous, violent, and so on. But in fact, the following are myths and misconceptions that are not true of all mental patients because I, myself, have experienced them. Today, I, as a former mental illness, want to tell the best way or effective measure to treat or control someone who has a mental health problem. How to treat mental problem is divided into two, namely before and after. Before is mean yearly treatment for someone who is already having mental problem. Treatment before there is only one that is we have to see a psychiatrist or counselor, because this treatment can give the best effect on the mental patient. This is so because the doctor know better what exactly the problem the patient is facing. We need to have the courage to tell all our problem to the doctor without shame, so that we get back healthy and the doctor can take action on our illness instead of us just being silent. That is why it is important that we seek yearly treatment from a specialist doctor. The next step of treating after a person has a mental problem, this treatment measure is held to monitor patient who have previously experienced this mental problem does not recur. The first step of treatment is that each former patient should start treating their hobby as a therapy. For example, sewing, reading book, exercising, and so on. Like me, I will sing when I am under stress, even if my voice is not pleasant. But it doesn't matter, because this hobby will reduce the sense of stress we are facing. The second most effective treatment step is we have to start hanging out with the other people at their neighbor or friend. This is so because when we have someone to talk to us at one, it can share our problem together without us hiding the problem alone and causing depression. And the last treatment is treatment that lastly or most importantly, we have to unfollow all that bring a negative thing. We want to be positive, we have to get rid of all the bad things. For example, we always associate with people who always diminish us or always go to a negative place. If possible, we have to avoid going to the negative place and try to find a positive atmosphere, only so that the positive aura is always in us and make us always smile without thinking of any problem. I think that just a few steps and the best treatment to treat someone who has mental health problem that I had time to tell. I think that's all for me. So thank you.
Wow, so thank you, Syafiq, to sharing the way with us. I'm sure your sharing can help many people to face the mental health problem. Mental health is very important in our life. If mental health problem is being ignored and not treated properly, it can have the side effect. So now, welcome Ayin. Ayin, what is the side effect if mental health problem being ignored and not treated properly?
Okay, thank you for the question, moderator. I will talk about the side effect if mental health is being ignored and not treated properly. Okay, firstly, people who having mental health can cause person to attempt suicide. As you can see through the news, there are many cases of suicide or attempt self-harm happening nowadays. Usually, a person who does not have a mental problem or has a normal level of mental health will not think of suicide or will not self-harm seriously. Well, a person reach a level where they want to commit suicide, we can know from that they can be identified as someone who does not have a normal of mental health. In addition, the side effect if mental health is being ignored, people can have instability in daily life. It might be challenging for someone to face the daily life when you have a mental disease. Having mental illness also burdensome for them to hold their career and socialize with other people too. Furthermore, it is almost difficult for someone who faces mental illness to do everything that normal people do, such as get out of bed, dress up properly, and leave the house to go to work or do something fun when you are depressed. Okay, lastly, people who having mental health also can face chronic pain. Someone with mental problems also tends not to care about themselves, especially their physical health. They will neglect their physical health and will cause them to face several pain. A person with mental illness will experience pain such as being underweight as well as being overweight. They will develop the disease according to the situation and the daily routine they do. Underweight will be experienced by a person who has no appetite and is just fancy thinking something is not benefit for them, while a person who is overweight as a result of mental problems will suffer from obesity. This is because they eat less healthy food and do not follow a balanced diet. That's all from me. Thank you.
So thank you for the explanation from Aini. If mental health problem is ignored, it can have many side effects that can also affect our life. So I am sure now there are a lot of questions between our guests right now. So now we have the Q&A section where the guests can ask each other question.
Okay, thank you for the moderator because give this session because I want to ask panel 1, Siti Sakinah, I want to ask you, can you give an example of few case those who has affected by mental health? Can you, Siti Sakinah?
Thank you, Syafiq, for the question. I will give three examples, a few case those who has affected by mental health. The first is family who experience stress in life because losing their job and losing their source income to support their family. A man who decide to commit suicide. Second, student has a lot assignment and they are stressed because student very close. For the example, two student UITM died after it was found that too many assignments were given by their lecturer. And the lastly is pressure from family member also lead to the formers of several student attitude. This made them aggressive in school and create various problems. That's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakina, for your reply. Do guests have any other question at this time?
I have a question for Shafi. Who is most popular to face a mental health problem?
Okay, thank you to panel 3, Ain, NUR'AIN, for the good question. In my opinion, the highest and most easily prone to mental problem are the young adult, aged 18 to 25 years old. This is so because at this age, many adults are still undergoing learning season, whether studying at university, college, or various other institutions. It is likely that this group face stress due to their learning environment, maybe due to the many assignments given by the lecturer. In addition, it may also stem from financial problem, neglect, lack of support from friends and family. Therefore, these adults need to be given full attention to them so that they do not feel burdened by the problem they are facing themselves. I think that's all from me. Thank you.
Okay. Alright, thank you. The answer from Shafiq. So we really need to care for those around us for time to time. Any other question at this time?
I want ask I want ask Ain, what the importance of manage the mental health to everyone?
Thank you for the question, Sakina. Okay, I will talk about the importance of manage mental health to everyone. Uh, when you manage mental health very good, it will lead you to have healthy relationship. Your relationship with yourself is the most essential relationship you will ever have. The way you treat yourself reflects the type of people and relationship you attract. I'm not just talking about go holiday, like go shopping, but I'm talking about the context of your daily thinking. People need to think positive because when you think positive, everything is gonna be fine. Even though it's hard, but you know you will go through it. Of course, we all encounter people that disappoint us from time to time, right? But I learned that it all boils down to how you treat yourself and how you rise to become a better version of yourself after those experiences. Thank you. Thank you. That's all from me.
Alright, thank you. The answer from Ain. Wow, it's very important to manage mental health. So, do you have any other further question? Now I think everyone question have been answered. So now I will end this Q&A section. So here I am thank you to Sakinah, Syafiq and I. After the explanation and the Q&A section, we have the better understanding of the mental health problem. If you have any mental health problem, you can ask help from the agency MIASA. They will provide professional help as well as effective mentors. You don't have to fight this alone. This is if this because if mental health problem is ignored, it can have many side effects that can affect our life. Although mental health problems are common but help is available, also there have been many full recover. But the most important thing is not to give up. So that's what we all about. Thank you for your listening. Bye bye.